Have you ever noticed how our grandparents seem to have solutions for everything? My grandmother, Margaret, is 80 years old and has slept like a baby her entire life. No prescription pills. No fancy sleep masks. Just deep, restorative sleep, night after night. When I was struggling with insomnia last year, tossing and turning until 3 a.m. became my nightly routine. I tried everything: meditation apps, white noise machines, even counting sheep. Nothing worked. That's when Grandma Margaret shared her secret sleep recipe, a simple bedtime snack she's been enjoying for over 6 decades. What happened next changed everything I thought I knew about sleep. And it might just change everything for you too. My grandmother grew up in rural Minnesota during the 1940s. Life wasn't easy back then. Her family worked a small farm, waking before dawn and working until sunset. We didn't have time for sleep problems, she told me, laughing in that warm way that only grandmas can. When your day starts at 4:30 a.m., you learn to fall asleep fast. But it wasn't just necessity that taught her good sleep habits. Her mother, my great-grandmother, passed down what she called a sleep tonic recipe. It wasn't some mysterious potion or complicated concoction. It was surprisingly simple. Every night, about 30 minutes before bed, Grandma Margaret would prepare a small snack: a banana, a tablespoon of almond butter, and a small cup of warm milk with a touch of honey and cinnamon. Nothing fancy, she says, but it works like magic. When I first heard this, I was skeptical. How could something so simple solve what modern medicine often struggles with? But the more I researched, the more I realized Grandma's wisdom wasn't just old folklore. It was backed by science. Let's break down this simple bedtime snack and see why it might actually work for sleep. First, bananas. They're not just convenient and tasty. They're packed with potassium and magnesium, minerals that help relax muscles. But here's the really interesting part. Bananas also contain tryptophan. You've probably heard about tryptophan in turkey, making you sleepy after Thanksgiving dinner. Well, it's in bananas too, and it helps your body produce serotonin and melatonin, natural chemicals that regulate sleep. Then there's the almond butter. Almonds contain magnesium, which some nutrition research suggests may improve sleep quality. They also have a bit of protein, which helps stabilize blood sugar through the night. Unstable blood sugar can cause you to wake up, so this is particularly important for uninterrupted sleep. The warm milk. That's not just comforting. It also contains calcium, which helps the brain use tryptophan to produce melatonin. And while some debate whether the milk itself makes you sleepy, the ritual of drinking something warm can signal to your body that it's time to wind down. Honey adds a touch of glucose, which tells your brain to reduce orexin, a neurotransmitter that keeps you alert. And cinnamon isn't just for flavor. Some studies suggest it can help regulate blood sugar and reduce inflammation, both of which may contribute to better sleep. When I looked into all this, I was shocked. This simple combination my grandmother had been eating for decades actually contained a perfect storm of sleep-supporting nutrients. But was I convinced enough to try it? Not quite yet. After weeks of terrible sleep, I decided to give Grandma's recipe a try. What did I have to lose, right? The first night, I dutifully prepared the snack: sliced banana, almond butter, warm milk with honey and cinnamon. I sat at my kitchen table around 9:30 p.m., eating slowly and trying not to check my phone. The taste was comforting. Sweet but not too sweet, warming but not heavy. I finished the snack, did my usual bedtime routine, and got into bed around 10 p.m., fully expecting another night of ceiling staring and pillow flipping. But something different happened. I felt calm. My usual bedtime anxiety seemed quieter. My mind wasn't racing through tomorrow's to-do list or replaying embarrassing moments from high school. Within about 20 minutes, I felt my eyelids getting heavy. And then, nothing. The next thing I knew, my alarm was going off. I had slept through the entire night for the first time in months. Coincidence, I thought. One good night doesn't mean anything, so I tried it again the next night. And the next. After a week, I couldn't deny it anymore. I was sleeping better. Not perfect, but noticeably better. Less time to fall asleep, fewer middle-of-the-night wake-ups, and I was waking feeling more refreshed. Was it just the placebo effect? Maybe partly. But something was definitely happening. When I called Grandma Margaret to tell her about my success, she said something that really stuck with me. It's not just what you eat, dear. It's how you eat it. She explained that back in her day, bedtime wasn't just about falling into bed exhausted. After scrolling through social media, it was a transition, a winding down period that prepared your body and mind for rest. Her nighttime ritual was consistent. After dinner and cleaning up, she'd spend time with family. Then, about an hour before bed, she'd prepare her sleep snack. No TV during the snack. No distractions. Just quiet enjoyment of simple flavors. After that, she'd wash up, change into pajamas, maybe read a few pages of a book, and then lights out. The body loves routine, she told me. Do the same things in the same order, and your body learns what's coming next. When I eat my sleep snack, my body knows it's time to start getting sleepy. This made perfect sense from what we now know about sleep hygiene. Consistent routines signal to your brain that it's time to release sleep hormones. The predictability creates a sense of safety, which is crucial for deep sleep. Modern sleep research confirms what Grandma knew intuitively. Rituals matter for sleep quality. And in our hyper-connected, always-on world, these transitions between activity and rest have largely disappeared. We go from 100 to 0, from scrolling social media to expecting instant sleep. No wonder so many of us struggle. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is this snack healthy for everyone? What about people with dietary restrictions or health concerns? This is something I discussed with Grandma Margaret too. As she's gotten older, her doctor has talked to her about heart health. She's made some adaptations to her sleep recipe over the years that actually make it even better. For instance, she switched from whole milk to almond milk to reduce saturated fat. She's careful with the honey, using just a teaspoon rather than a tablespoon. And she's added a sprinkle of ground flaxseed for those omega-3 fatty acids that support heart health. The beauty of this simple recipe is how easily it can be modified for different health needs. If you're watching your blood sugar, you might reduce the honey or replace it with a low-glycemic alternative. If you have nut allergies, sunflower seed butter works well in place of almond butter. For seniors specifically, this snack offers multiple benefits beyond just sleep. The protein helps maintain muscle mass, which becomes increasingly important as we age. The potassium and magnesium in bananas support heart health and may help regulate blood pressure. And the ritual itself provides a moment of mindfulness and calm, something we could all use more of, regardless of age. What's remarkable about Grandma's approach is how it aligns with what geriatric medicine now recommends for senior wellness. Simple, sustainable habits that support both physical and mental health. Now, I want to be clear about something important. While Grandma's sleep recipe has been incredibly helpful for me and many others I've shared it with, it's not a cure-all for serious sleep disorders. There was a moment during our conversations when Grandma Margaret got serious. "You know," she said, "your grandfather had terrible sleep apnea. No amount of bananas and warm milk was going to fix that. He needed proper medical help. She's absolutely right. If you're experiencing symptoms like chronic insomnia, loud snoring, gasping for air during sleep, or extreme daytime fatigue, please consult a healthcare provider. Sleep disorders like sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or severe insomnia require proper diagnosis and treatment." What Grandma's recipe offers is support for general sleep quality, particularly for those occasional rough nights or mild, stress-related sleep issues. It's a gentle, natural approach that complements good sleep hygiene. Think of it this way: Grandma's recipe is like chicken soup for a cold. It helps, it comforts, but for pneumonia, you need a doctor. Know the difference and take care of yourself accordingly. The more I've learned about sleep, the more I've realized that Grandma's bedtime snack is just one piece of a bigger nutritional puzzle. What we eat throughout the entire day affects how we sleep at night. Recent nutrition research has uncovered fascinating connections between diet and sleep quality. For instance, diets high in sugar and refined carbs are associated with lighter, less restorative sleep. High-fat meals close to bedtime can trigger indigestion and acid reflux, making it harder to fall and stay asleep. On the flip side, diets rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins tend to promote better sleep. Foods containing natural melatonin or sleep-supporting nutrients can positively influence your sleep cycles. Grandma Margaret understood this intuitively. "We ate simple food," she told me. "Fresh when we could get it, preserved when we couldn't. Nothing processed, nothing artificial. And we worked hard physically every day." That's a recipe for good sleep right there. She's right again. The combination of nutritious food and physical activity creates the perfect conditions for quality sleep. It's not complicated, but in our modern world of convenience foods and sedentary jobs, we've drifted away from these basics. Perhaps the most powerful aspect of Grandma's approach is its simplicity. In an age of sleep trackers, prescription medications, and complicated protocols, there's something refreshing about returning to fundamentals: wholesome food, mindful eating, and consistent routines. One unexpected joy that came from learning Grandma's sleep recipe was how it strengthened our relationship. Our conversations about sleep opened doors to other wisdom she had to share, about patience, resilience, finding joy in simple things. There's something special about these intergenerational exchanges of knowledge. We often think of wisdom flowing one way, from the younger, tech-savvy generations to older ones. But the flow of wisdom about fundamental human needs, like sleep, nutrition, and emotional well-being, often needs to go in the other direction. I asked Grandma Margaret once if she thought people slept better in her day. "Without a doubt," she said without hesitation. "We didn't have all these distractions. No phones buzzing, no Netflix asking if you're still watching at midnight. Just darkness, quiet, and tired bodies ready for rest." She paused, then added something profound. "But you know what we did have? Community. People to talk to at the end of the day. Ways to let go of our worries by sharing them. That helped sleep more than any snack could." This perspective hit me hard. In our quest for better sleep, we often focus on the physical aspects: the foods, the supplements, the perfect mattress. but the emotional component, feeling connected, having processed the day's events through conversation, feeling secure in our relationships, that's equally crucial for restful sleep. So while I'm sharing Grandma's recipe for a sleep-promoting snack, I'm also sharing her recipe for a sleep-promoting life. Connection, simplicity, consistency, and appreciation for the basics. As I've shared Grandma's sleep recipe with friends and family, I've been fascinated by how they've adapted it to their own tastes and needs. My cousin Mark, who's lactose intolerant, uses coconut milk instead of regular milk. My friend Sophia adds a few tart cherries for extra natural melatonin. My brother, who works night shifts, has modified the timing to fit his upside-down schedule. The core elements remain the same, something with tryptophan, something with healthy fats, something warm and comforting, but the specific ingredients can be personalized. That's the beauty of simple wisdom. It's flexible enough to work for different people in different circumstances. If you decide to try this sleep-supporting snack, I encourage you to make it your own. Experiment with different nut or seed butters. Try various plant-based milks. Add spices that you find comforting, maybe cardamom or nutmeg instead of cinnamon. The important thing is to maintain the ritual aspect. Give yourself that transition time. Step away from screens. Perhaps use those 15 minutes of snack time to reflect on things you're grateful for, or to write down any persistent worries so your mind can let them go for the night. And remember, patience matters. Natural approaches usually don't work instantly like a sleeping pill might. Give your body time to respond to this new routine. Consistency is key. What fascinates me as someone interested in both traditional wisdom and modern science is how often they end up in the same place, just by different paths. Grandma Margaret didn't know about tryptophan pathways or blood glucose regulation. She didn't need complex nutrition research to tell her what worked. She had generational knowledge, passed down and refined through observation and experience. Meanwhile, sleep scientists in high-tech labs are discovering the biochemical mechanisms behind why certain foods support sleep. They're mapping the intricate dance between what we eat and how we sleep. And increasingly, their findings validate many traditional practices. This convergence of old wisdom and new science offers us the best of both worlds. We can understand why these simple practices work, which helps us apply them more effectively and adapt them when needed. For instance, recent research into chrononutrition, how the timing of meals affects our body's internal clock, provides scientific backing for the traditional practice of having lighter evening meals and avoiding late-night eating. Studies on specific nutrients like magnesium and potassium help explain why Grandma's banana-based snack promotes muscle relaxation. As we learn more about the gut-brain connection and how our digestive system influences neurotransmitter production, we gain deeper insight into why certain foods make us feel calm and sleepy while others energize us. I find this incredibly hopeful. It suggests that many answers to our modern health challenges might be hiding in plain sight in the simple wisdom of previous generations, just waiting for us to pay attention and apply them in our contemporary context. So there you have it, my grandmother's secret sleep recipe, backed by both 8 decades of personal experience and emerging scientific research. A simple combination of banana, almond butter, and warm milk with honey and cinnamon, enjoyed as part of a consistent bedtime ritual. Is it a miracle cure? No. Is it a gentle, natural way to support your body's natural sleep processes? Absolutely. What I've learned from Grandma Margaret goes beyond just a bedtime snack recipe. It's about the value of slowing down, the importance of transitions, the power of simple, whole foods, and the wisdom that sometimes the old ways have something valuable to teach us. If you're struggling with sleep, I encourage you to give this a try. Adapt it to your tastes and dietary needs. Embrace the ritual aspect. Be patient and consistent. And remember that while this simple approach helps many people, serious sleep disorders require professional medical attention. I'd love to hear about your experiences if you try Grandma's sleep recipe. Drop a comment below sharing your results or your own adaptations. Subscribe to Sleep Well Tonight for more content, where we explore the intersection of traditional wisdom and modern science in the pursuit of better rest. This is more than just about sleep. It's about reconnecting with timeless wisdom that can improve our well-being in our fast-paced world. As Grandma Margaret would say, sometimes the best solutions are the simplest ones, hidden in plain sight. Thank you for listening. Here's to better sleep, the natural way. Good night and sleep well.